this is an interesting one, as we have many game players in this room right now.
Okay, what do we got?
Going around the room, but I will say, whomever has an answer, excellent. Don't feel like you have to have an answer. I imagine at least one of us will. Name at least one positive thing about a game you didn't like.
Ooh.
For example, I recently played through Earthbound and didn't like it. However, I did appreciate the unique setting of the time and the ability to skip low-level battles. So, a game that you were on, but found something that you really liked about it.
That sounds like a good plan. I just want to remind folks before we dive
Yes,
into that,
please.
though, 16 minutes remain on that giveaway for the Desert Bus Shift Banner Cat Cube. So get those donations of $6.17 in over at desertbus.org, and you can have a brand new, very good-looking cat cube. We'll see. We'll find out. This has already carried us up over 745, so 750's in sight, and I see a hand from the back. Mr. Wiggins?
Final Fantasy 16 is pretty and absolutely nothing else.
Okay.
All right. Yeah,
You
yeah.
haven't lived until you've heard his full, unhinged Final Fantasy rant.
Yeah.
Jason, no, we
Jason, we rejected it.
No and.
Was that you?
No, I just appreciate it.
Got our Dawn Guard infiltrator.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. A game that you didn't enjoy, but something positive about it.
Zapky in chat asked me to do The Legend of Dragoon, but I can't.
I've got one.
Jordan.
Give some time for some other folks to do. I know this might be a contentious statement. I did not enjoy Bloodborne.
Oh.
I, who have loved all of the Souls games I've played, absolutely had no fun with Bloodborne. However, I was in love with the setting. The setting was one of the coolest things that I had experienced in quite some time. I loved the variety of monsters and baddies that I was dealing with. The boss designs were epic in scale, and I'd seen several of them in farther than I got in that game in other people's playthroughs, and it was great. However, I really, really, really struggled with getting through that game at all. Because unlike other games, I had the same experience with Sekiro, so,
I've heard that it's...
I bounced off Sekiro pretty hard.
Yeah, where super, super, super cool setting, amazing look, the vibe's immaculate, but whereas in other FromSoft games, and Souls-like I should say, you have the ability to either grind out some levels and get ahead of things, or have a completely different style of gameplay. Those two were a little bit... Ugh.
It took me a while to figure out a game I decidedly did not actually like, because generally I just try to toss them out of my head as quickly as possible. Most of the problem I have with games is with their community, not with the game itself.
Right.
But Stray Gods was a ambitious concept for a game of having a branching story musical, fully voice acted, and
Bring it a little closer. You can put your feet back.
fully voice acted, fully scored, and it just fell flat for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I come across this fairly, well, not fairly frequently, because I'm pretty good at picking games that I like. But when I stream, my whole thing is I pick a game and I play through it, right? And I've only ever abandoned 2 games. One because I just couldn't, and one because I didn't plan to make it a series. But generally speaking, there are a number of games I've played through that I've just been like, please God, release me from this game. And of course I played through it, and that has resulted in my developing fairly strong opinions about the games that I don't like. But yeah, the 2 in recent memory are Final Fantasy 16 and Legend of Dragoon, which both were just
Not great.
Starfield was my other recent one, which was the one that I didn't really plan to make a stream series out of. I dumped it early, but there's nothing wrong with it. It just was not
for you?
not for me.
Okay, but this is all about mentioning the good parts. What was the good part about Starfield for you?
I really like the gunplay in in Starfield. I actually thought the gunplay was pretty fun.
Cool.
I was gonna say Starfield sure captures the feeling of what actual interstellar travel would be like, which is very mundane and boring.
You mean interstellar travel is going to be selecting the planet you want to travel to from a menu, hitting go, and then hitting a loading screen?
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Going to bed.
That's the hypersleep. Somebody in chat is like, did Matt finish Mass Effect Andromeda? Not only did I finish it, I liked it.
Wow.
Which means you're all primed up for the next one.
I am.
It's a slight tangent. Interstellar travel, yeah, they perfected that. I would still like to find a game that properly depicts orbital combat.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
In the sense of you are making very deliberate choices to move to certain positions, very submarine style.
You want the hardest of hard sci-fi. On
Yes,
that.
I do.
Yeah.
I want to, like Isaac Newton, ruin someone's day.
There's probably a Kerbal mod for that.
Probably.
Excellent.
Huh. Well, thank you.
Well, yeah. Thanks everyone for diving deep on your gaming likes and dislikes in a different way than we typically do.
Yeah, I like the variation on it there.
Can I end my career?
Yes. Absolutely yes.
Absolutely yes. This is your platform. Take it.
Let's go.
I'm going to end myself here. I think after giving it a very, very solid go, I have determined that I am not a fan of Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, I know it's a pretty hot take.
Chat is immediately going to turn
You're
on you.
I'm
correct.
dead, I know. But I think, no. To be clear, I think the game is good.
Right.
I think it's just not for me. I think a lot of the things that are touted as positives for the game don't sit perfectly well with me, I guess, in certain ways. But that being said, I think it's kind of revolutionized MMOs in a way that it does not punish you for not like constantly logging in every day. You're allowed and in fact endorsed to take breaks and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're completely cool and stuff with it, and it so much so to the point that like other MMOs and stuff had to take a look and are now like following suit and changing kind of their trajectory and stuff like that. But I feel like I hit the true end game. I got a house in the game, and I.
Oh, the privileged man getting property and then just leaving the game.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing though. They changed that so that if I stay logged out for a certain amount of time, they will auto evict me, and so much so that you get an email that says your lot is about to be demolished unless you enter the premises. But yeah,
Wow.
I think Final Fantasy XIV is a tremendous game, and I think they've done a great job on it. But I think I've just come to the terms that it's just not for me. I think it does not provide the MMO things that I enjoy. The community is not my favorite, and but I think it's a great game.
I didn't get in earlier, but I have a brief one because chat reminded me of the existence of this game. I didn't really enjoy playing City of Heroes, but I absolutely loved playing City of Heroes character creator.
Blast from the
Spectacular.
past.
Hey, G.
Oh.
Careful, I don't think
I
there's
am
someone
waiting
stabilized
for
yet.
Graham to do a header.
Cyberpunk is a good soundtrack.
Yeah?
Cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, what else you got? What?
So, just to that point, Graham.
Yeah.
I remember when, I don't know what caused it to come up, but Cyberpunk was like making like a resurgence in people playing it. Oh, I think it was because the
The
anime
expansion
came.
Anime.
came out. Yeah, as well as the anime.
And like it just appeared in your head at the time, and I was like the only person in like your trajectory of view, and you like cornered me in the kitchen and was like, "Let me tell you why Cyberpunk is a garbage game," and I was just like there eating a burger, like, I agree.
Sir, I just work here.
You got to experience the video essay I've never got around to making.
It was great.
Thank you. Maybe,
I
maybe someday I'll get there.
So I have not played Cyberpunk, but there's like someone I converse with regularly who's not you, that played the. Well, just you're the only
You
other
talk
person.
to someone other than
I know, but
Sorry.
I converse with somebody fairly regularly who have like played through Cyberpunk in its original state from beginning to end, did all of the endings, and developed like a multi-part video essay series on Cyberpunk in its original state, and dove deep on like. I categorically was like, I don't think this is a good game, but
No.
here are the ways that it's interesting and the ways you can engage with the narrative and themes that are interesting and the ideas that they had that they executed on poorly, and like things like that, right? And he has since gone back and replayed the game after the patch came out. And his response is, I think the game is much worse now. It's categorically more accessible, but all of the interesting things about the game aren't really there anymore.
Yeah, I think it's fundamentally broken at a design level. I don't think it's solvable by patches.
Yeah, like they have made it better.
Yeah, but anyway.
Can I thank all of us in the room for just being able to have media literacy and engage with things that we dislike without having to call them straight bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Try this at home.
yeah.
It's weird that taste
Try
is
it yourself.
subjective and that some people don't always have to like the same thing.